Hi, my name is Edward Devereaux Chef III, but everybody calls me Ro. I'm not actually from Canada, I'm from that other country south of here. Apparently, I'm here to bake something for the great Montgomery Baking Challenge. In the interest of full disclosure, I got to admit, I've never actually read an Ella Montgomery book, but this production is sponsored by Montgomery scholar Andrea McKenzie, who is the love of my life, so I had to do something. Also, Andrea gave me this ridiculous apron, probably to make me look more dignified. So today I'm going to make cornbread. Cornbread has a long history. It goes back 7,000 years or so. The Incas, the Mayans, the Aztecs, they all made it. They used corn for everything. They even made soap from corn, if you can believe that. But that's for a later episode of the Great Montgomery Craft Challenge. So while I fuss with kitchen prep, Andrea is going to explain some of the significance of making cornbread during the wartime rationing in Montgomery's time, to rationalize why I'm here and why I'm doing this.
Hi everyone. So that you know, I didn't make Ro do this. He volunteered. Now, I think it's really important that he's making cornbread because, of course, this relates back to Ella Montgomery's wartime life. And if you recall, during the First World War, people were asked to save such things as wheat, butter, pork, and sugar, importantly sugar. So many households, including Montgomery's, trying to save wheat, turned to other grains to try to make bread and bread substitutes. And of course, as we know, Ella Montgomery was a minister's wife, the wife of Ewan MacDonald, and during wartime, her household had to set an example for the rest of the community. Now, cornbread fits into wartime rationing because, of course, its main ingredient is not wheat, it's cornmeal. It uses a minuscule amount of flour, it uses no sugar at all, and it is nutritious and an excellent substitute for bread. Now, I'll turn things back over to Ro, and I'm getting back behind the camera to record the delicious cornbread that he's very used to making, and to watch him go through the process for you. So thanks for listening. Back over to you, Ro.
So here's what we'll need. You can see the list there, and you should probably write it down because it's a great recipe. A friend of mine once gave me a book that had nothing in it but cornbread recipes, and this is the very best one in the whole book. So I love it. It's and it's so simple that even I can make it. It's supposed to serve 4, but it never does because I usually eat half of it myself. So I know what you're thinking. Jalapenos would be impossible to find in wartime Canada during rationing. So, you know, if you want to be really authentic, just leave it out. But I like to put it in because it not only adds flavor, it also adds moisture, which is really important. Now, as I may have mentioned before, the most important thing, if you're going to add jalapenos, is to make sure you get rid of all of these little seeds before you add it to the mix. Because if you don't, you'll be putting a fire hose in your mouth when you start eating all the seeds, because the seeds are exceptionally hot. So, if you want to use jalapenos, here's a really fast way to mince jalapenos.
Preheat the oven to 450 at this point in the process.
So you can use either oil or butter. I like olive oil, and I'm using this one because it's a shameless plug. This is spectacularly delicious olive oil made by a company in Southampton, Ontario. And I especially like it, not only because it tastes good, but because this wonderfully clever logo was designed by a brilliant graphic artist named Andrew Brown, who happens to be Andrea's brother. So now we're going to put the pan in, get it really hot. 5 minutes at 450 should do it. Alright, so now you just mix up the dry ingredients in a bowl. The baking powder, the cornmeal, the baking soda, and the salt. And when you're done, you make a little hole in the middle. And here's why you do that. Then on a different bowl, you whisk up the egg and the buttermilk. And then dump it into the little hole that you made in the dry mix. Like so, and then whisk it all up together till it's nice and moist. By the way, did they have whisks in Montgomery's time?
Yes, they most certainly did.
Yeah, I knew Andrea would know.
No food processors, though. She would have had to mince that jalapeno by hand.
Okay, so at this point you can either put it in the oven or, and that's what Montgomery would have done, or you can follow my advice and add some jalapeno. And just mix in the jalapeno. Okay, now we're going to take the hot pan out of the oven. And don't forget to put your oven mitt on before you do that, because the pan is very hot. I did that once, and I regretted it for 6 months. And that is one hot pan. So now, being very careful because this pan is exceedingly hot, we pour the mix into the pan, the hot pan. There we go. See, I told you this is easy. And back in the oven we go. And so now we just bake 450 degrees for 20 minutes or okay, you know, I mentioned leave the hot pan in the oven for 5 minutes. Take it out before 5 minutes because it gets really hot, and if you don't, this is what happens. In the meantime, while we're waiting, another full disclosure. Although my name is Chef, pronounced just like chef, I have to admit, I don't know how to bake anything except cornbread. So, I do know how to do that pretty well, and you know, I've been told anyway. So, we'll see. We're not videotaping this, are we?
Yes, we are.
Well, it looks done to me. What do you think?
Looks delicious.
Yeah, I think so. Great, let's cut it up and eat it.
Sounds good to me.
And there we go. Looks great and smells great. I wish you could smell it. So, thanks. Hope you enjoy it. And now I'm off to eat it myself.
Thank you so much, Road Chef. Aren't you going to taste it for the camera?
I gotta put butter on it first. Oh yeah. You're gonna like it.
Excellent. I look forward to getting my share, which will be about one of those 9 squares. Thank you so much, Road Chef, for meeting the LM Montgomery Baking Challenge. Bye for now.
Bye all.